wrangling in police over promotion of retired cop is also on the front page with mental diseases and disorders cause of students' failure. This according to psychiatrists. There's another story about the president declaring that he has resolved energy crisis. Come and invest in Ghana. He's speaking to some investors. I saw that the country with Elton John Brobe there live for us.
Did you see Elton's reports yesterday with his scarf and his
some suit? Then he was put on his WhatsApp
London
that he's attracting investment.
he also right now the Joy News presidential correspondent.
Yeah, he's an investor.
He's getting some investors for us.
No, he should get some investments for the Super Morning Show.
We agree.
Suits for the presenter. It's a very good thing.
Okay, so we move on to the Business and Financial Times this morning. He says lending rates can't drop just like that. That is coming from Dr. Ituahine. And let's become local banks becoming stronger. And First National Bank leads discussion on first green bonds.
Now, the Gafri Business is reporting this morning use of funds on legacy projects. This is according to the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, asking that don't just spread our money around. Now, crude oil prices hit 4-year high. Then some people start feeling it in their stomach already. We're going to pay more for fuel. If double with the CDD, then or die be die.
Remember what Edwin said yesterday? The CD is catching up with the vice president's
he said that vice president 55 and the CD is 5.2 something. So very soon.
Okay, so the New Crusading Guide this morning is reporting economy being revived despite inherited challenges, and that's coming from the president and men's goal to reimburse customers after 3 months. And there's another story in the paper which says that there's some kind of tension or a looter in some areas that is somewhere in Akufo-Addo's hometown.
Now, the Finder is reporting this morning road carnage, 1,710 die in 9 months. And the most terrible part of this is 12.2% higher than what happened in 2017 compared to the first 9 months of that period. There's also the directive from the NCCE, which is making the waves. Disband all political vigilante groups. And also, Ghana Post to revamp domestic parcels deliveries. Revamp.
They are still revamping anyway. Now, the Daily Guide this morning.
I don't remember the last time I received a letter. I can't understand myself.
Do you even write a letter at all?
I don't, but as for receipt.
Anyway, so the Daily Guide this morning reports about Bawumia fires Mahama. We are ready for you. Bring it on. That is what he's saying. And then we are fixing NDC mess. That is Nana. And then 4 Lebanese have been busted with dollars. A lot of them. UMB flies. UMB also says that they are moving to Canada to see what they can get to, revamp the company.
Now, today is reporting this morning, economy being revived, and also MP rescues police from youth attack. There's another one about former President Rawlings, killing of 34 women. Rawlings demands answers, and that story you hear details of later on in our engagement.
And then the Daily Statesman this morning says Cecilia Dapa Clean Accra project on course, and Galamsey Task Force arrest Chinese and Ghanaians.
Okay, now the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning that President promotes Ghana First agenda as he seeks foreign investment, and Ghana-Japan discuss metro rail transport for Accra, and children having inadequate sleep risk mental illness. Those are the stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning.
And then the Ghanaian Times this morning says flash out political vigilantism from the country, that is the NCCE, and then 6 Galamseyers escape from police custody.
Guys, before we do the details of the stories, let's wish a happy birthday to Joy Adukwe Akwe. Joy Adukwe Akwe. And because we are having an Aqua review, I almost changed her name. So, Joy, you're 3 years old today. This is from your mom, Shirley, and from all of us here on the Super Morning Show. Happy birthday.
Lots of joy in your life.
Lots of joy. And your first name is very, very excellent. I happen to know a radio station that does very well, that has that same name. Joy. But before we do anything, Raymond, someone has been talking tough. Someone has been speaking her mind to the president, the highest official of the land.
The person must be bold.
The person is bold. Listen.
The leadership of the NPP must demonstrate to the people of Ghana that the law applies equally to all. Enough of the lip service to the rule of law.
This is what Asan Kuma will call memory fortitude.
There's another one that has testicular something.
Yes,
something.
yes, testicular something, and memory fortitude. Okay, I'm going to look for it and I'll say it for you. But
Okay.
Raymond, who is this and what's she saying?
Okay, so this is the national, the chairperson of the National Commission on Civic Education, that's NCCE. So she's actually first telling the Inspector General of Police that you are promised this in times past. Just go ahead and disband these political, and they mentioned vigilante groups. I believe they are hooligans actually. So disband these groups that have actually appointed themselves criminals in political party clothing, meting out crime to people, beating up people, assaulting even members of parliament. Those who are able to run away, they quickly run away, and actually dealing with people in ways that are not allowed in the country. She's saying that until we get to the point that these people are removed from these, systems in the country, we would always have problems with rule of law, and show to us that you believe in rule of law by making sure you implement them. She had a similar information for the grouping, the political parties. She also made it clear to the leadership of the country that we cannot continue with this serious problem on our hands and still we pretend that it's not happening. And she actually was very clear in her mind that if we don't do this, there'll come time that we can no longer control them, then the rule of law will absolutely break down. And she did it at a press conference yesterday, but we do know that this is not the first time this has happened actually. In 2015, the political parties agreed. Indeed, if you take your time, after Mark Woyongo's statement, which was not making sense to many people, when he talked about, we have to take our time to deal with these people properly, our own and their own ought to be dealt with in a way that makes sense. This was repeated not long ago by a senator who told the president that if you disband your party's vigilante groups, we also disband our own. When it came to light that some hawk of a grouping had been formed, and that was actually going around the NDC's campaigns and various groupings in ways that people were not happy with. Then we come back to what happened in 2016. You know, the police said they were going to disband the vigilante groups.
Yes.
When they started making the comments, we are waiting till when? So when are you going to do so? We've in 3 months. 3 months for them to operate and finally on their own go off grid. Yes.
Call it a grace period.
Yes.
Amnesty.
The 3 months came, then the police said, in their minds they have disbanded the group. But we said, no, we see them all.
No, it was tough.
It was
they disbanded them in their mind.
Yes. So far as the police were concerned, there is none existing again.
No, stop. They disbanded them in their mind.
Yes. Then we are pointing them
Did they chance the disbanding?
No. We said that they're still operating. We know where they are. These are the people. They said, but we know they don't exist.
No, we disbanded them in our minds. So if you close your eyes and you think hard about it, they will disband.
But have you seen that this is one of the issues that virtually everybody has complained, but still they keep existing? The Catholic Bishops Conference, the Christian Council of Ghana, the Ghana Bar Association, the Peace Council, virtually all groupings, including the Otunfo, have said, let not these groups exist. But the political parties have kept every single person at bay, and the groups have weathered every single storm from every important personality in the country.
So, Norman, it looks like this is proof that real power actually lies with the politician.
Of course, and Daniel, one of the things I have realized is that these politicians themselves even do not have trust in our security apparatus. Because if they do, they would not have these groups.
Yesterday, these guys, what's the name? Delta Force.
Yes.
They said they were bodyguards for Dr. Anthony Akutose.
Yeah.
When he was parliamentary
and he used them. That's
and
what
he used them. And they said it boldly. Bodyguards. So why did he need bodyguards? Even then, he was a member of parliament.
Yeah.
So why did he need bodyguards at the time?
I mean, it's quite interesting that, they go around and you know what we say that the law of karma, what goes around comes around. It would definitely come to hit you in your face, and that's how come Dr. Akutu had to be, I don't know how to describe it best. People had to find a way of rescuing him.
He was spirited away.
Oh, maybe the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit.
John said that he was carried and thrown into some car.
You should have seen the video, the way they got him across that short wall in that meeting. You should have seen the video. They just got him, and then all of a sudden the man disappeared from the place.
Yes, but we will be staying with this issue when we speak with government today on the show, asking their response to this particular statement that Jotun Nkrumah has made. But Norman, let's talk about Men's Gold.
Yeah, let's talk about Men's Gold. Yesterday, somewhere getting to the evening, we get a press statement from Men's Gold that says that they are going to be paying, principal amounts that people had invested in the company, and they're saying, give us 90 days. That is 3 clear months, and we will be able to pay you. This means that what Men's Gold is saying, that they had a meeting, they had agreed with these customers, they are not going to pay dividends any longer, because that is something that is a bone of contention. They are, linking that to their case in court against SEC and the Bank of Ghana. And so they are saying that, look, you know what, we are going to be paying you all your principals that you have invested, and so you can come for your money. And if you heard our story this morning on Joy Business, we indicated that from now, this morning, till the 90 days that they have, you'll be able to pay this money. But the question has been, if you had an agreement with someone and you have paid, the person has given you money to invest, the person expects certain kind of dividends. So who is holding on to those matured investments and those kind of dividends that they're having? And the question also is, will they be able to pay? Do they have the money at all to pay these people? But for them, they say they will be able to pay within this 90 days.
Exactly. And it's a contractual agreement that they have with these people.
They've cited some excuse which says that they are banking difficulties. That is why they are actually going through this process. I am unclear in my mind what the kind of banking difficulties you are talking about.
Okay, so Raymond, if you recall, they were asked to ensure that they pay these customers using the banking system. Yeah. That was one of the first agreements they had with SEC, and so they were supposed to do that. If you recall, there was a time they came with a statement that they told us that some people did not provide their details. That is why they could not assess their dividends at the time that they were asking for these things to pay. So, all these excuses keep coming up as far as Men's Gold is concerned. But let's see, 90 days, we'll see if everybody will be paid.
Of course. But in the end, we just want everyone's money to be safe. Raymond, let's talk about the killing of 34 women.
Yes, the former president, Jerry John Rawlings, has criticized successive governments for failing to unravel the mystery behind the murder of some 34 women over a 7-year period. That's between 1994 and 2001. In fact, the women were found dead mostly in various parts of the capital, including Nasuman and Mataiko, all in Accra. Several years down the line, the serial murders still remain unresolved, and that is what the former president is saying. So he was addressing some student groups at the Accra Digital Center over the weekend, and Mr. Rawlings questioned the commitment of the state to get to the bottom of the murders, and he asked specifically what happened to the women. In the last 4-year terms, 34 women were killed in this country in order to create insecurity among women. They needed to deflate that confidence, that power. And I'm not making up these stories, I don't, but sometimes I'm asked to provide proof by people who should know better and should back me up, but they try to ridicule me so that I will prove that I cannot be proven. Now, that is what he said when he said that he also invited the students to join him as he scheduled a lecture at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the lecture that we will all be interested in. We know why. This month, where he said he would throw a bombshell on the matter, and yes, bombshell expectation ahead.
Former President Rawlings,
yes,
the man known for bombshells, has said he will throw a bombshell.
Yes, and this was following the airing of Who Killed the Judges.
I can hardly sleep.
And so, crime that shook the nation. The former president says he would throw a bombshell, a big one. But so we are clear, you do know that the gentleman Charles Ebokwansa, and his full name, Charles Papa Ebokwansa, was actually arrested in the year 2000. Between 2002 and 2003, he was put in jail between that period after a long trial for the murder of 9 out of the 34 women. In fact, the suspicion was that he was related to most of these women in the country. The trial took some time, so they used to call him the Accra Strangler, because he told the court that he strangled most of these women to death. You do recall that it starts with his girlfriend. He first and foremost killed a girlfriend, one Joyce, then later on said to have killed women and dumped in various sections of the capital. This became a political issue because the idea was that J. Rawlings' time, in the final years of his, he could not, and that's why he made reference to there was a lack of safety or insecurity in the country. He could not protect these women. So when the NPP came in, they said that they had done enough under John Kufuor to make sure that they fixed the problem by arresting and putting in jail this particular Ebokwansa guy. Maybe the former president believes there's more to the story.
Okay.
And
No, but if
I want to discuss with him.
It will be interesting, Mr. Rawlings. So we invite you first of all to the Super Morning Show. But if you can't come, we'll come.
Yeah,
If you can't come, we'll come to that.
no, he just needs to just tell us that
We'll
come
come to
home,
that.
and then we'll move everything in there.
Hey, if
and
you
then
like, the studio will carry us there. Norman, let's move from the former president to the current vice president.
Well, we go to the current vice president who fires back at Mahama, and he tells him that, look, you know what, you want to come on, bring it on. We are ready for you. And I want to read to you something interesting that and I'm quoting him. He said, I hear the incompetent one says he wants to come back. He wants to come and do more damage, as if he didn't do enough damage. Well, we are waiting for him. We are waiting for him. We are waiting for him. Oh my God. And this is when President Mahama is said to have said that, look, managing the economy is not like giving a lecture. And so one have to understand that if you have challenges, you have challenges. And he in one of his campaigns somewhere in the north made that assertion. And then also the vice president Bawumia decided that, okay, you know what, you're an incompetent man. You want to come and do more damage? Bring it on. We are waiting for you. And I am just surprised. If you recall, when the vice president, they were in opposition, a lot of lectures that he did on the economy, thinking that the NDC at the time were not doing well. As far as the economic numbers, the CD depreciation, he said when we come, we will address the CD depreciation. Somewhere in 2017, he said, we have arrested the CD, we have put it behind bars, I've given
and the keys with the IGP.
It's with the IGP. If the CD is still there, we don't know yet. We'll find out.
I think maybe the IGP lost the key.
And so, I mean, that's a throwback at him to say that bring it on, you are incompetent and we don't think we'll allow you to come and do more damage.
And this
to
is
us.
only going to get more heated considering the fact that the NDC is going to the polls to choose a flag bearer, after which it will be a two-horse race. Well, at least if the MPP decides to retain President Akufo-Addo as candidate.
Well, he has expressed interest to run.
Yes. But let's not assume for the
but
MPP.
more likely to be maintained clearly.
Yeah.
But
Remember when 2004, former President Kufuor was going to file his nomination?
At KNUST, I remember.
Hey, it was such an event. Yes, and Mr. Mahama as well when he was going to file his in 2012. It seems a bit obvious
that
in 2016 it seems a bit obvious.
But normally, Daniel, you know that certain presidents are given the leeway to go unopposed to continue their.
That didn't happen with Mills.
no, not at all.
Mills.
That's where Fonka game started. You remember?
The famous Fonka games.
Yes.
I mean, he seemed to be the only person, because if you look at Rawlings going for second term, Kufuor going for second term.
No, wait. You were going to vie against Rollins. Jerry Jones. Are you in this country? But let's talk about road accidents.
Yes, and for the first 9 months of this year, 1,710 people died. Listen, this on average 190 per month. And this is some 12% higher than what happened in 2017, where 1,524 people died. The interesting part is that 4.1% a reduction in pedestrian knockdowns. So whilst there was a decrease in the number of people who were knocked down, there was actually an increase in the general number of people who died from these accidents. And the statistics from the National Road Safety Commission and also the police indicates that the first major cause of all road accidents in the country is poor driving skills. As in, drivers talking on mobile phones while driving have caused several of these road accidents too. Gross indiscipline is also a major cause of the accidents, especially in this part of the country. And the main problem is that some of the drivers are either not qualified to drive, they drive carelessly or recklessly, they go through excessive speeding, and some of them have also just made up their minds never to follow the rules. Perhaps the creed that we should have more people who are properly tutored in driving to be the one on the roads should be enforced. So instead of seeking, among other things, to extort or take money from people, the MTTD people, they should rather concentrate on checking whether the guy driving knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Because if you've been on the
at
road,
least has a qualification.
Ghana has some of the most reckless drivers in the world. I am mostly astonished by how people drive just anyhow when they are going to virtually the same destination too anyway.
Anyway, Raymond, thank you very much. Let's go online. And the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Banking, your best interest, Coil Good Energy. And download the Safe Doctor app now from the Google Play. Safe Doctor, the future of better medical care. Now, Goil, your trusted #1 and biggest indigenous oil marketing company, says Ayiko to our numerous customers. Your loyalty to the Goil brand has again been rewarded for the 3rd consecutive year. Goil is the CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year. We dedicate this award to you, our valued customers, for staying with us through thick and thin. Continue to buy from any of our 300+ service stations for quality fuel and lubricants. Buy Goil and let's support the economy. Goil, good energy. Goil, Yenara Yedia. Now, Zenith Bank has now obtained the ISO 27001 and PCI DSS certifications. More than ever before, customers of Zenith Bank can be assured of the confidentiality of their information, as well as security of our systems, processes, and procedures. So go on, make that move to Zenith Bank today. Open an account with us and sign up for our array of MasterCard and Visa cards. Banking with Zenith Bank is easy, convenient, and secure. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Now, the Airtel Tigo network upgrade is ongoing to provide customers with nationwide coverage, fast internet, and superior voice quality. The upgrade will be a smooth one. However, in the unlikely event where customers do encounter a network challenge, such as no service or emergency, customers should visit any Airtel Tigo shop in the Greater Accra region with a valid ID to upgrade their SIM for free. This upgrade will not affect customers' Airtel Tigo money, airtime, or other phone contacts. Customers can also call 100 or 0277 55 1000 or 02 60100 for more information. Let's upgrade together for wider coverage, fast internet experience, and superior voice quality. Airtel Tigo, one big happy family. Now, myjoyonline.com says 145,000 have been cleared for government jobs. This is join out of last night's PM Express, hosted by Evans Menza, Kojo Ponkroma, speaking there.
Clearance. They have financial clearance.
They have financial clearance. Okay. There's an interesting So what does that mean? That means that they've not been hired yet.
Yes.
But the finance ministry has approved that if they hire them, they will pay them.
Yes. They are perhaps the most important clearance for you to be hired in this case.
Yeah, because without that, your salaries won't come.
Yeah.
Interesting. So 145,000. Good news there. Op-ed by Dr. H.O.D. Anyigbada. You must read this. It's on myjoyonline.com. It says Ghana's stuttering panic withdrawals, a simple approach to the crisis. Okay, he says crisis may be too strong a word for it, but you want to go there and get those details. PrimeNewsGhana.com says National Cathedral is my government's top priority. President Akufo-Addo speaking there, and he was saying this when he was wooing investors.
Among priorities.
Among priorities.
Yeah, king of kings.
He said it's a priority among the priorities.
We'll do it whether you like it or not.
And Nigeria election, Charlie, you guys, you've heard Obi Ezekwesili is running for president. The woman who started, one of the people who started the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. Unfortunately, what? Unfortunately, what? It's interesting, though, that, the Bring Back Our Girls campaign is one of the things that made Buhari very popular, because at the time it became evident that the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, could not do much to deal with the Boko Haram crisis. Even so much so that close to the election, they said that they've disbanded Boko Haram. Yeah, you remember that?
They did it in their head.
So Obi Ezekwesili is now running against Buhari, someone who benefited from her campaign. It will be interesting to follow what happens in Nigeria in the coming months. But we're going to make way for the BBC News at 7 now, after which the Super Morning Show continues. Stay with us. Thanks, Norman. Thanks, Raymond.
Before Interplast in Green Irrigation System.
Sorry, what on it from?
In the dry season, Kwame would use